Welcome back everyone. We're looking at our Formula One car. Let's turn on screencast keys and let's continue modeling our Formula One car where we left off. So we've been able to do really well so far. We just want to continue with that. Now we do have additional help today. Red Bull has unveiled their Formula One car, also their Formula One livery. There's also some details that they're not quite giving away quite yet, but what we can do is use this as an example. We can use this to our advantage to continue modeling our Formula One car. And that's exactly what we want to do. So certain areas that we want to continue working on, such as the wheels. So let's go ahead and add a circle. I want to align this circle to the view. I want to turn on the vertices. Let's go with like 16 vertices. Let's tab in. Let's scale this down. Let's move it to where the wheel is. Use an X-ray would probably be quite useful. So we just want to start with the basic, just continue doing what we do. So that's a good start right there. Let's move it out to the right hand side. That's good. And let's extrude the first face right there. Let's fill. That's good. Let's go to face select. We can then press I to insert. But then here's what I want to do. I want to move this out slightly. That's good. Same thing with this area. Fill. Scale this down slightly. And I'd move this out to the right hand side as well. There we go. By that time, by the time we add a subdivision, this is what it would look like. We can press I to scale down. We can press I to insert once again. There we go. And shade smooth. So now this year, the wheels are quite different because gone are the wheel covers. So the wheels are actually exposed once again. So here's what we're going to do for this face. I'm going to scale it down slightly. I'm going to press I to insert once again. And we're going to insert this in. And P to separate. There we go. That's good. Similar thing right here. With this face, we're going to scale it down. Probably want it to be around the same size as this one, to be honest. That's better. I to insert. Let's move this in. And P to separate. That's good. From here, we can then add a mirror modifier. Move this to the top, of course. Want a mirror modifier on the x-axis. Well, actually, z-axis by the looks of it. Nope, it's the x-axis. We just needed to apply all transform. There we go. We can add a mirror modifier right there as well. Same thing. Let's press Control A, apply all transform. Now, really and truly, this should be the wheel. But, we gotta try to understand how much of this we can affect. Wheel is quite a bit different. I don't really want to spend too much time on the wheel, to be honest. Here's what we can do. We can keep it simple. We can add another loop right there. And we can just delete some of these faces. There we go. And delete faces. Excellent. Let's also delete this face. That's good. We can select all and then extrude it inwards like that. Add another loop around here. Just add in some loops around these areas. That'll do. And probably add in a loop around this entire area. There we go. Probably add in some loops around this area as well. I mean, to be honest, this looks terrible, but that's just because it's a placeholder. This is not the real thing. I can always redesign that another time. I just need a placeholder. That's better. Just keep it simple. Nothing too crazy. Probably scale it up a little bit and probably move it out a little bit. I can always redesign that later, but for now, just keep it simple. That's another thing as well. In terms of this loop within there, let's just extrude in once more. Same thing right there. Just extrude in once more. That's brilliant. Then we can start thinking about this area. Let's add a mirror modifier again. Command Control A, apply all transform. That's good. We do want to get this area right because of this aerodynamic piece right here helps to cool the brakes. And I actually haven't been able to get as much image as I want to for this area. But we'll work with what we have. Let's just carry this out slightly, scale it down slightly, and extrude in slightly. I to insert and delete face. And you know what? We're going to insert this face as well. Probably move it out slightly. That's good. And probably add a loop right around there. That's good. And duplicate this. Carry it within. P to separate. That's good. And we're going to delete quite a few of these vertices. Like that. And fill this area. That's good. Although I think this area might be able to scale this up slightly more. A little bit more. That's good. Okay. And I think it's a little bit wider as well. Yeah, it's a little bit wider, particularly around this area. It's like edged out, kind of like this. Let's add another loop right there. But also a bunch of these faces, like some of these areas right here, sort of exposed, kind of like that. I wonder how we can do that. I wonder if we're able to sort of edge this out slightly like this. Probably edge these one out as well. And you know what? We can probably then delete these faces and extrude this. Carry this in, scale it down, carry it within, and add another loop around this area. Probably add a loop around these areas as well. Probably add another loop around these areas as well. And we might just need to add some cuts around these areas and join these, because at the moment it looks a little bit unorganized. So we're just making sure that this doesn't look too bad. Probably join those, and I would say join these ones as well. I want to flatten these and flatten them on the y-axis. Actually, that's better. I know, actually that's not too bad. That is not too bad. And I wonder if we can then just move this out slightly. Probably move this one out as well. You know, in fact, this entire area, just move it in slightly. Like, it's clear that there's an inlet right there, but I don't want it to be too overly aggressive. Probably add another loop right there. Probably add another loop right there as well. That's pretty damn good. And you know what? Let's give these some spacing. That's good. And I wonder if we should fill these areas. Probably add a loop right there. And I wonder if we should join these ones. And I wonder if we should also join these ones. Probably add some additional vertices. Yep. Can add some additional vertices around these areas. It's not absolutely necessary, but it would really help to simplify things. Let's join these as well. Let's join those as well, and let's join these ones as well. Honestly, even that area might need to be exposed, but for now we close it up just to keep it simple. And I wonder if these areas, if we gotta move these areas in slightly, not by much, but probably a little bit. We gotta start thinking about the suspension as well, which will be different for each car. It'll be very different for each car actually. But I want to start thinking about it. I want to duplicate these, P to separate, and let's flatten this on the x-axis. Let's carry this one back slightly. Let's flatten it on the z-axis as well. That's good. Let's carry it out. Let's carry it back. And let's adjust this on the x-axis like this. And perhaps then we can then extrude this, flatten it on the x-axis, and carry it back slightly. This is actually an interesting area, but we're going to get to that. We're going to duplicate this, carry this one back, and carry it out slightly, and extrude this area, and carry this area forwards. And we're going to have to merge these areas, and we might have to add some additional vertices around these areas and fill this entire area. You know what? Use knife tool and make a cut right there and dissolve this edge. So we want to get this right at least from this perspective, and then we can think about like what's next. And the suspension on this vehicle looks quite a bit different compared to the blueprint that I'm working on. You can see right there, there's actually names for these suspension. But that's okay as well, because we're not looking to have it to be like 100% accurate. That's definitely not the goal, because you can see even this suspension design is fairly similar to what we have, but also similar to the Red Bull one as well, from this perspective especially. So we haven't got it incorrect. We just need to decide based on visuals, like what approach we're taking. You can see these ones are quite a bit lower. These are the highest point, but these ones are quite a bit lower. So things like this can be lowered down, especially these areas. So that's worth keeping in mind. Select all, Shift N, and you know what? We might move these one up slightly, not too much. Might carry these ones down slightly. Might carry them down a bit more. Might carry these ones down, not by much. And as for these ones, carry these ones down. You can see right there for the blueprint that we have, this area actually goes down quite a lot further. Like it actually goes down around there. So that's also a good reference to have. But there's the double. I think it's called double wishbone. I could be wrong. But there's also these areas underneath. It's a whole thing. So we're going to want to extrude these. Not by much, but we'll extrude them a little bit. Then we're going to want to add some loop cuts around these areas. And we might want to rotate this on the z-axis. And I wonder about this area. If we need to carry this in closer. Yep, just a little bit closer, not too much. I wonder if this needs to be lowered. Yeah, could do with being lowered. Not by much, but a little bit. And rotated forward as well. And you know what? We might also rotate, might also just lower this area as well. Might lower the entire thing. Lower this area some more. That's looking a little bit better. Suddenly it's starting to look more like a Formula One car. Although I must say, for this area, there's obviously cuts within there. Because ironically, these are actually attached to the vehicle. So we're going to add some cuts around these areas. Flatten these. Well, we just want them to be on the same level, I would say. And I wonder if this needs to be, if this is too narrow. I wonder. It might be. It may in fact be a little bit too narrow. So we may just want to adjust this like that. And we may just want to adjust this as well, like this. May carry this one forwards. May carry this one back, like that. And we may flatten this on the x-axis. We may add another vertex around there. Good. And we may just separate this. Here we go. So then with these areas, we can fill. We can add another loop cut around here. Can fill this as well. And add another loop cut around here. Same thing there. Same rules apply. Kind of like that. This is a beautiful car, by the way, that that Red Bull has worked on. Hold on a minute. Can you see that right there? So we need to figure that one out as well. Yep, so this area actually comes from lower down. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll duplicate this and we'll carry this back. And we'll press P to separate. Yep, we'll carry this one back. It's around there somewhere. And we'll just adjust this on the y-axis. Kind of like this. We may then dissolve these vertices, dissolve this area as well, and we may just carry this one back slightly, carry this one back as well, carry it forward slightly. That's a little bit better. As for this area, we'll fill this area for now. And I wonder, that particular area is actually not separated. So what we need to do is essentially merge these. Hold on a minute. We need to join them first, Control J, and then we can merge these by selecting them and merging them just like that. And I think there's a face in there we need to delete. So delete that face, make it one thing. That's good. Now as for this area, you know what? We'll also dissolve this edge. As for this area, just carry it out, carry it forwards. There we go. And rotate it on the x-axis. As for this area, I think we need to rotate it slightly. Carry it in, carry it back, like that. Okay, and here's where it gets interesting. This area is actually lowered down. It's lowered down, and it's closer to the brake ducts. I believe that's the name of this area. It's closer to the brake ducts. Kind of like this. Rotate it on the z-axis slightly. Carry it forward. Rotate it a bit more on the z-axis. Carry it out. That's good. Rotate this on the y-axis. Rotate it on the... Actually, carry it out slightly. There we go. And let's just add some vertices around this area. That's good. Although it's different for the blueprint. Like I said previously, each vehicle is different, so the Red Bull is quite different compared to what we're doing right here. So we'll also keep that in mind, that it won't be 100% accurate, because it's basically what we're designing is our own Formula One car. So it takes a little bit of inspiration from the Audi that I've seen, from the default Formula One car, from the Red Bull. It's taken inspiration from everywhere. And I don't mind doing this, because the goal is to create a default Formula One car that I can then adjust any way I want to basically recreate the actual Formula One cars, but all at different rates. We'll adjust these vertices as well. You know what? We'll actually adjust this out as well, kind of like this. Yep. So little by little, looks a little bit more realistic. So I think that's 3 that we've created, but we've got quite a few more. So we've created these 3, but there's one right there. I believe that's this area, right? Yeah, there's a lower one right there just underneath. Honestly, I'm not even sure about the purpose for that, but what we'll do is duplicate this, carry it down slightly, P to separate. That's good. And we will carry this down. Honestly, I think we might even have a guide on the blueprint. You can see right there. What's really fun about this is that, you know, every Formula One car is going to look quite a bit different in this area. I'm going to carry this one back to around here. I'm going to carry this one back as well. And we're going to carry this one back. So it's kind of like that. It kind of runs parallel to the one at the top, but it's just lower down. Kind of like this, yeah. Although it doesn't appear on the blueprint right there, which makes me think that it's probably hidden behind the wheels, like somewhere around there. And that's just part of the fun. The fact that different Formula One cars will be a little bit different in design and all philosophy. And then we got to think about the 2 at the front. And I'm just curious about those, actually. I'm just curious about these ones. Just with the way they run like that. Anyway, we are going to duplicate this, P to separate, and we're going to carry this one forward slightly, kind of like this. Based on the blueprint, it looks like there's definitely one right there as well. So we can have this like that. Let's dissolve these for a moment. And I believe there's another one around here. P to separate, carry this one forwards, and rotate it on the z-axis. That's good. And edge these one out slightly. Add another vertex right there, and carry these a lot closer together. That's better. May raise them slightly. Yep, that's a good idea. Rotate it on the x-axis, rotate it on the y-axis, carry it out slightly, and add a loop right around there. May add a loop around here as well, and add another loop around there as well. And rotate this on the y-axis. Probably carry this up slightly. So it's a bit more like this, to be honest. Not sure about the distance that they are from this perspective. I mean, they're on similar level. That's the good news. Based on the evidence I've seen, they're all on similar level. I might just raise these ones slightly, carry these out slightly like that. And we may just raise this one as well, like that. I don't like the way how it runs like this. It makes it looks overly complicated, makes it looks unnecessary, makes it looks like we don't need one of those. And then we got to think about this area right here. I never understood what that was actually. This little area right here, and it's quite a bit different on this vehicle compared to the other vehicles of the past. Yep, quite a bit different, but that's all right. We'll duplicate these, carry them back slightly, carry them out slightly. There we go. P to separate, and let's carry these ones closer together. There we go. Let's carry these one out. Extrude a vertex C back, extrude a vertex C in. That's good. And fill these areas. Based on what I can see, it's like there's a little attachment right there. So gonna carry these out like that, carry these within like this. Select all. Actually, for these ones, let's just carry these one up slightly. And we'll carry these one up as well. There we go. Then we can extrude like this. Then we can add some loop cuts around these areas like that. We can then carry these out like this and add another loop cut around about there, and probably carry this one in slightly like this. It's a bit more like that based on what I can see, but I personally think it's quite a bit wider. Yeah, it's quite a bit wider, and at the front it's quite high, sort of like this. And then probably give them some spacing like that. Probably give these some spacing as well, like this. So it's a bit more like this. Even that is not 100% accurate, but you know what? It's like there's handles. It's like there's handles that that run parallel to this area, kind of like this. Kind of like there's handles that run parallel like that. Give these some spacing as well. I may then, hold on a minute. Actually, you know what we'll do instead? Just extrude these. Yep, just extrude these and carry them out slightly like this. Carry these in and add a loop right around there and add a loop around here. And probably then just move this up and just dissolve that and add a new one. It's a bit more like that. Add a loop right there and add a loop around here. It's a bit more like this. Yep, it's a bit more like that. And my entire plan for this exercise is so that I can scale this down to a low poly model. Actually, not a low poly model, but a stylized model. Like that's a long-term plan for that, is to scale it down to a stylized car. Now we got to think about this area closer to the barge boards. We got to think about this area, and to be honest, I don't think this car gives us the best example of that. If anything, I want to finish up the rear as well. But even the Red Bull vehicle, they don't give us too much images. It's mostly to show off the livery. Although this is a fresh perspective that is definitely welcomed. For one, we definitely want to finish up the rear. See where we left off with this area. Looks like it's fairly accurate actually. What we do have that we need to put right there is the wheels. So let's tab in. Let's duplicate this. And getting detailed images of the rear might actually be quite tricky. So here's what we're going to work with for now, just the wheels. Let's tab in, duplicate, carry this one towards the rear. There we go. Keep in mind that these rear tires are actually quite a bit wider. Kind of like that. Yep, just keep that in mind. Honestly, I feel like I want to put some wheel covers on these things. I might just design the wheels closer to this, but with wheel covers. Let's see if I can do that. I'm going to duplicate this. P to separate. And as for these ones, I might just put them in a new folder. Call it volume X. And I might just hide that folder. It's for things that I don't really want to keep. Let's scale this up. Extrude right there. Extrude again. and extrude in. And then we may just scale this down. Select everything, probably scale it up slightly, carry this out slightly, add another loop within there and carry this one out slightly, and shade smooth. We may just duplicate this and start working on this area. So duplicate this, P to separate, E to extrude, scale down, add another loop within there, edge this out, select all of this, scale it up, extrude this one in, and extrude this one in as well, and shade smooth. But now I'm just wondering, like, what does the wheel covers look like? See those standard wheels that we have right now in Formula 1? Well, it's the standard wheels that are coming to Formula 1. But I prefer to just put wheel covers on my vehicle for now. So this is what the wheel covers used to look like, essentially. Quite ugly, quite basic. They were ridiculous, if I'm being completely honest. And if I'm not mistaken, basically what it is these areas. That's just scaled down and probably carried in slightly. And probably scale this down as well, carry this in slightly as well. Add a loop cut right there, add another loop right there, and we'll probably just edge these one out slightly. And there you have it, somewhat makeshift wheel cover. And insert right there. That'll do for now. And as for these ones, we want to select those, tab in, duplicate, carry those ones towards the rear. Carry it forward slightly. Just want to make sure that it's lined up, that it's not too ridiculous. Yep. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. That looks a whole lot better than what we had before. We had like this flower kind of pattern that was just ridiculous and I couldn't stand it. Let's take a look at the F1 car suspension. You see, different cars, different designs. And this is just a mock-up, just a 3D render. I've seen a handful of 3D renders, if I'm being honest, quite a lot of different 3D renders of different 3D cars. Some of them really incredible, like this one of the Aldi, just an idea of what the Aldi livery could look like, although the front wing is not for the 2026 season, that's for the previous seasons. So this is more just a livery design, but suspension can still give us an idea of what we're working with. I still think on our vehicle that the rear needs to be extended a little bit further. I could be wrong, but we're also going to adjust it on active element, scale it out slightly. Same thing right there, just scale this out slightly. That's another thing as well, is this area that we need to consider working on. What does it look like on the... So that's what it looks like on the Red Bull. Fairly straightforward, if I'm being honest. Fairly straightforward. Almost as if this area, almost as if we need to add a vertice right there. But different vehicles, that's what I'm thinking, you know, just in general, different vehicles will look slightly different. Although this area is what we need to consider right here. There's sort of like this cutout right around there. Let's extrude this vertex in right there, extrude this one as well. And we're going to fill these areas, fill those areas. That's a little bit better. As for this area, extrude once. We need to scale in, but on median point. So let's scale in on median point. And I wonder, let's take a look at the Red Bull right there. It's fairly squared, you know, it's fairly squared, almost as if this is expanded out slightly. And these ones are edged in slightly like that. Let's expand this one out slightly as well. And then we can then extrude inwards. Probably scale it down a bit more. Probably add a loop around these areas. Kind of like that. Although this area, just extrude this one out slightly like that. So little by little, our car is starting to look more like an F1 car. At the moment, we're only limited by the images we can gather. I feel very limited in terms of the images we can gather. I'll say that for sure. Because now I want some images of the rear suspension. We can start with this area, but we're very limited in what we can do, even with that area. And here's what I'll do. I'll duplicate this, extrude it, carry it to the rear, P to separate. That's good. We can actually let's delete this area, but this could be a good start. Around there would probably be a good start. Carry this one forwards like this, carry this one back slightly, and you know what, let's flatten this on the y-axis. We'll flatten these ones as well, carry these one back, carry this one back as well, and let's just carry these ones with it and flatten these second row on the x-axis. Let's carry these ones within, carry these ones forward slightly, carry this one back like that. Probably carry these one back as well, kind of like this. And that's another thing that I notice, is that this area looks to be lowered down. Like this area in general looks to be lowered down, kind of like this. And then rotate this on the z-axis, rotate it on the y-axis, rotate it on the z-axis as well. Probably rotate a bit more on the z-axis, and probably carry this one forwards. Probably like this. Let's just look at this for a minute. Definitely need to carry this one forwards as well. Carry this one forwards as well. And carry these one out. That's it. Probably carry these one up slightly. And probably carry these one up slightly as well. Not too much. Probably adjust these ones like this. But this one is actually quite flat and it's actually quite wide, but that's specifically to the Red Bull. Keep in mind that is specific to the Red Bull. But nevertheless, that's a decent start. Here's what I'm wondering. Just this area in general. Obviously, due to the fact that this is the Red Bull, the rear end is actually, it appears to be rather wide, but it's still quite tapered in, kind of like this. I wonder if we should just raise this slightly, maybe even temporarily. But here's what we'll do. We'll duplicate this, carry it back, separate, I should say. And let's just fill those areas, carry these ones down. Let's fill these areas. Let's fill those areas. Let's, merge, I should say. Should be merging these areas. Let's merge this one. Let's flatten this one. And you know what? May just want to flatten this somewhat like that. Select all, carry this in, scale it on the z-axis, extrude in like this. Although this is quite a bit wider. Flatten this, add a loop around there, and add a loop around there. Carry this one within. That's better. This is just based on what I can remember from the previous seasons of Formula One cars. There's the exhaust, there's things like that. In order to get some really good reference, you'd have to refer to this area, to the Formula One channel, to the Formula One images. And even with this, there's only so much we can take. Like there's not a whole lot of detail. I want to lower this as well. Rotate it on the z-axis. I'll probably lower this as well. Probably flatten this on the z-axis. Probably flatten this on the z-axis and flatten this on the z-axis as well. And we'll probably just carry this one forwards, kind of like that. Probably carry this one up, carry it forwards. There we go. Probably just carry this one back like that.
Good braking's increase top speed. That shift in pace opens up long.
And the thing about it is that right here, there's actually an exhaust pipe. So we're actually gonna separate this. There's actually an exhaust pipe right there. Extrude this in, and I'd say scale this down on the z-axis. Carry this one up, and I'd say press double G just to adjust these, kind of like that. Flatten this on the y-axis. Probably scale this up a little bit like this. Probably scale it up a little bit like that. And flatten it on the Y. Carry it out slightly. This is the exhaust pipe, so exhaust pipe is a little bit exposed. And as for this area, just in general, probably carry this out, carry this one up, carry this one up as well, and carry this one out, kind of like this. Shade smooth this area, extrude this area, scale it down, and extrude within. Scale it down on the x-axis like that. This is not a good representation of the rear exhaust, by the way. This is just something I'm going with. Probably carry this one in as well. Give it some space and scale this down. Probably scale this down as well. Carry this one in, kind of like that. But what the hell does it attach to, you know? So can get a little bit of a reference from the footage, of course. Looks like most of this is attached to the actual unit. So either this is further out like that. That could be possible. And this area, let's extrude this in. Add a loop right there. Flatten this on the z-axis. Select everything. Carry it out slightly. And extrude this one back as well. I feel like this area is extruded quite far back, to be honest with you. It's not that over exaggerated, obviously. It's not that ugly. Let's dissolve some of these edges, and let's carry this up like that. And let's carry this out. Add another loop right around there. And this area is actually where the light is. This is actually where the light is. Let's dissolve this edge right there. Or we can just join these, I believe. Probably just need to join those. Flatten this on the z-axis. Flatten this on the, well, flatten this on the x-axis. And flatten these ones on the z-axis. Carry this one down. Carry this one up. Add another loop cut around this area like that. Yep, so little by little, it's looking a little bit more realistic. But I still need some reference images of the rear. The real question is, can I get some images of the rear of this vehicle? And this is not even a real vehicle. This is just the default model that Formula One create as a guideline for other teams. I think there's brake ducts at the rear as well. Got to keep that in mind. And I guess this is one of those areas of the vehicle that teams do not want to share. Like, this is quite an intricate area. Teams do not want to, I mean, teams don't want to share anything, but they try to share as little bit as possible. But to be honest, our version of this vehicle is pretty damn close. So I just have to collect some more images, some more examples as we continue to build out this vehicle. But this is a good second video. We did quite a lot in the first video, so this video is a little bit more on the suspension and stuff like that. But question is, what do we have images of that we can work with? I am curious about this area, if I'm being honest. We may be able to duplicate these, carry these forward, flatten these on the Y, give these some spacing, extrude this one back slightly, and look at this from this direction. P to separate. We're going to keep this separated for now, and we'll then extrude another vertex right there, extrude another one right there, and extrude another one right there. With these ones right here, we need to extrude these up, and I would say lower these ones right here. Let's select all, Shift N, and do not forget about the floor of this area. So we'll fill those as well. That's good. We'll extrude another vertex like this, carry this one in, and we'll fill those areas as well. And we may just carry this one up slightly. A to select all, Shift N, and let's shade smooth. Just wonder about this area actually. There we go. For some reason, got double vertices. Just delete those vertices and fill this face once again. That's better. This is what it looks like on the Aldi. Just a rough example, but this Aldi is just it's just a demo unit. It's a demo unit. It's a demo design. It's nothing too intricate. But what I do like about this design, at least, is that it is supposed to integrate somehow into the floor of the vehicle. Let's flatten these on the x-axis. That's good. Let's add another loop cut right around there. Flatten these on the y. Flatten these on the Y. That's good. And we'll just carry these one out slightly. Carry these one within slightly. Although I think this area is supposed to be a little bit more flat based on what I can see. So flatten these on the x-axis, rotate it a little bit so it's a little bit slanted, kind of like that. Honestly, at this point, we probably don't even need this group right here. And I'd then say extrude upwards, carry this inwards, kind of like this. Flatten this on the x-axis, flatten this on the z-axis. Well, actually, that might actually serve some purpose. Add another loop cut right around there, and that's just a rough idea. That's just a rough idea for now. Nothing too intricate. You see, even with what I really like with the Red Bull design is it's a difference in detail. It's what I really like about the Red Bull design right here. It's such a different approach. Even from my design with the rough ideas that I was playing around with, it's such a different approach. But it's very much Red Bull. Now you can see it's very much Red Bull. Just some of the details, which is going to be fun because I'm eventually going to, after I scale down this design into a stylized vehicle, I'm eventually going to think about like what makes the Red Bull different and try to make sure this looks more like a Red Bull, because I'm going to do a Red Bull version for the Audi, version for the Mercedes. I have no idea how I'm going to find the time to do all of this, but it's not the thing I'm most worried about. The thing I'm most worried about is the livery. How the hell am I going to do that? You know what? Let's carry this one back. Let's flatten this on the Y, flatten this on the Y as well, and flatten this on the Y-axis. You got wing mirrors, you got the halo to work on. We've got a few more areas to work on, so it's just a matter of getting more reference images. I really like the way they've integrated that spoiler right there. I don't know how many teams are going to come with something so intricate, but it's almost as if you duplicate this group. Actually, no. Duplicate this group, carry this down, carry it in. Yeah, that's really cool. Whatever they've done right there. That is really cool. So I don't know if every other team is going to do this, but I certainly do look forward to seeing if other teams have something similar. Let's extrude this in, select all, carry it a little bit closer together, not too close. Some healthy distance is recommended, and edge it forward slightly. And notice this area is actually quite wide, and it's almost as if it's then extruded down as well. Kind of like this. Kind of like some shark fins. And add another cut around there. Nothing too crazy. Probably carry this one back slightly as well, like this. Yeah, Red Bull got something going on like that. But it's pretty damn cool. Edge this one out as well. Probably edge this one out as well. Yeah, they've been cooking. Can I say Red Bull have been cooking, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of these cars. Let's move this one up a little bit like that. Probably move this one up a little bit. Maybe not. That'd probably do. Probably add a loop cut in the center. I want to add a loop cut in the center around there. That's pretty damn good. So add a cut down there. Add a cut around there as well. Red Bull got a design going on that's kind of like that. All right, we're going to leave it there for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more. Let us know what you think. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.